time did that game get done?
6:30.
6:30?
Yeah.
How's our bug spray?
Hanging on over there.
They're out.
Oh, isn't it? Is it on the ground there?
Oh, I got it. They're gonna turn the clock on?
They had it on and it went off.
It just worked for the soccer game.
Yeah, but like.
That one, is today your birthday? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Sorry I missed you.
That's okay. I'm looking for.
Alright, so they got pylons.
Chris, do we have the anthem on something?
Yeah, we
He's
do.
not going to be here to run it with his phone.
Just went out again.
Test.
Testing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, live from the Reef at Oceanside Collegiate Academy in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. The sun is setting, the lights are on. I have Christopher Harrison, the coach, to my right, and Angie, the birthday girl, Gregory, to my left. Happy birthday, Angie.
Wait, I got applause on here. Not that one. There we go.
There it is. Happy birthday, Angie. So, Coach, this is one of those games, the Ashley River rivalry between Oceanside and Porter-Gaud Cyclones.
Did you just declare that?
I declared it when I made my Facebook post earlier today.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I missed
Oklahoma and Texas have the Red River rivalry.
Right.
We have the Ashley River rivalry.
All right.
This game is one of those games, kind of like a Beckham, but a little more steeped in history because both schools go back far enough. The kids all play together in club. They grow up together, and we've got to, we play them once a year. You've got Porter-Gaud is the SCISA, 5 out of the last 6 years, they're the SCISA state champs. They come in here with a lot of swagger. These games have been 2 of the last 3 games have gone to overtime. One of them we ran away with. A couple of them we came up on the wrong end of. It's one of those games.
Yeah, this is a game that always seems to sneak up on us. Obviously our boys, I don't really think they change their prep. They're working hard, every day, each week. But this one usually just pops in. I think it's usually 5-6 of the season. And, it's just one that we can't look past. Oceanside's got a stiff challenge tonight, and they got to put a win on the board here.
Yeah, and the Land Sharks come in here 2-4 after an absolute murderer's row of competition. We've obviously called every game, as we will throughout the entire season, and with the privilege to chronicle our kids, our seniors' journey toward the state championship, which is the ultimate goal here. And this is one of those bumps in the road where, they've really got to buckle up, because it doesn't matter that it's a Skeeza school. It doesn't matter what the records are. This is a rivalry, and those are the kinds of games, it's going to be a fight no matter what. We like our chances tonight coming off the big win at Cambridge, and that brings me to a little analysis for you. Coming out of we played Friday and got torched by the Longhorns of Lampert. Come back Saturday, and the team looked completely different Saturday, certainly in the first half. Second half, things evened out a little bit. That was an undefeated Cambridge team out of Metro Atlanta. We handed them their first loss of the season, and a huge statement win for the Land Sharks.
Yeah, I think that's what makes that game special, Tony. Cambridge obviously playing in a higher-level lacrosse area, higher-level conference, and for Oceanside to wake up as they did in that game and go out and compete. And, yeah, the game, like you said, a little bit uneven. I think the coaches would have liked a full 4 quarters. But that, you're right. You call that a statement win. I think if you could say the ship was listing, it's been righted, I feel. And magically, we gained an extra win with that win, in that our game against Lake Norman was determined to be a win for us due to an ineligible player playing for Lake Norman.
All right, so we come into this game 3-3.
So we are now a 500 lacrosse team.
All right, so we're a 500 lacrosse team. Look, the Land Sharks, and I don't know that the boys see it that way, because they took a pretty good drubbing to Lake Norman.
Right, that's in their brains. That's a loss, but the record is what it is.
The algorithm for playoff seeding doesn't really care.
Right.
The algorithm is the algorithm, as Coach Meyer, our athletic director, Mark Meyer, explained to me that it calculates wins, losses, and that's a big, heavy set on how that gets calculated. For our Land Sharks, I had some time to sit down with Coach Harris, Coach Tom Harris, in his 8th season here, the OG. Since the school started, he's been here, state champion in 18 and 19, and looking to recapture the magic, or as I say with this group of seniors, fulfill the prophecy. Okay, so Coach is looking at different lineups. He specifically mentioned different things that he was going to do. Didn't tell me what they were. God forbid. But didn't tell me what they were. But he's looking at different things as far as the clear. He's looking at different things in transition. Places that we've struggled. So I'm anxious to see what that's going to be, as are you, because those are the things we talk about, right?
Yeah. Being the father of our starting goalie, I certainly want to see any improvements on the clear that we might be able to throw out there. I think you saw our coaching staff's desire to kind of experiment last game a bit. We had guys at positions where we normally don't have them, and I think coaches they're really trying to find the perfect combination of players out there right now. And we're early enough in the season where as a coach, you're still figuring that out.
Yeah, I think that and I think the mood that I got from Tom was that he's communicated a little differently with the players. He's had some different conversations one-on-one with different players, and the mood is that we can run the table from here on out. Murderers Row is done, and it's more traditional competition. And tonight is the start of almost like a second season.
And I think we're going to Anthem here, Tone.
We are. So we're going to end the pregame show, go to the Anthem, and we will be back with live lacrosse momentarily. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live to the Reef. Let's get it on. The anthem is out of the way. The lights are on. The bugs are out. Chris, the coach, is putting on his armament, his bug repellent clothing. The Nats are particularly bad tonight, but we are, nonetheless, we are primed for a great river rivalry of the Porter-Gaud Cyclones and your Oceanside Land Sharks. As we get started, I want to give a big shout-out early in the broadcast here to Clyde Ferretti, Cole the Clamp's grandfather, watching down in Florida. Clyde, thanks for joining us. I'm glad you follow us. I understand that you're a devout follower here watching your grandson, and we're proud of him, and thanks for listening in.
I got a special shout out to two of my favorite people, CJ and Lakin Cooley down in Houston, Texas. They've become huge Oceanside lacrosse fans, and I know they're tuned in down there in Houston tonight. Mom and Dad are back home from vacation, and they sent their grandmother and their aunt back here to Charleston. So have a good night, kiddos, and I hope you enjoyed the game.
That's great. Good. Have a great night, kids. As Gavin Harrison, the goaltenders, with the ceremonial handshake, and the players are taking their position. Gavin heading down to the pipes. AJ Zarzaka over here on the wing. Cole the Clamp, Clyde's grandson, out on the dot. And Peanut Seaton over on the far side. The Land Sharks are going to start. Robo Reese Meredith at defense, along with Andy Jones, as well as Thomas the Pickpocket Huffines. And we are ready to go. The ball's whistled in. The Clamp comes away with it. And we've got our first, we've got our first possession, Coach. And here we go. Up to AJ, and he's feeling it. Drives it into the zone, pushes it off to Ian Long, the freshman, back to Kamikaze Costa, over across to MJ Magic Zanone. The players are coming in. AJ checks out.
Good start to the game there, Tone. Cole to Clamp with a nice clean win and setting up Oceanside on their first possession.
And we've got that line out there that was so successful in the last game against Cambridge. We've got Jackson Hyman, who had a hat trick and then some. We've got the Trigger out there, and Carter Cash Money Gregory. He takes a little wood from a short stick. He's driving in, and he goes for the big, and there's a save. He goes for a big rip, and there's a save. And it's going to stay Oceanside ball.
Costa, good job backing that up.
Costa's going to inbound from the far corner down by the end zone pylon up to Carter Gregory. Carter's got a pole on him. Jackson Hyman gives him relief, gives him a place to go with the ball, cycles it over to the Trigger. Titus, the Trigger, Gillum, he files back in. Carter makes the dodge, gets around the pole, draws a slide, and there's a ball out to the back. No harm, no foul. Magic's going to pick it up. Over to the freshman, Ian Long. Can't say enough about him. We're going to talk about him the whole telecast. Carter Gregory up top, or Jackson Hyman up top. Back to the Trigger. He's got something he likes, makes the dodge, gets some room. He finds it, fires, hits the goaltender. And here comes Porter-Gaud, makes two big stops on two pretty good shots. Cole's mother is arming us with incense all over the field here to protect us from the insect life here.
Turning into a goalie game so far here, Tony. We got Porter's goalie, number 1, Kyle Brogan, with 2 saves on 2 shots, and Gavin Harrison having a save in the other end on 1 shot.
Yeah, Gavin's going to make the clear. Carter Gregory wheels back to a midfield posture, gives Gavin somewhere to go with it. He drives it in. Same lineup on the field, and we're back in business in the offensive zone.
It's going to be interesting, Tony, to look here. 55 Gregory. He seems to be able to get a step on his defender, number 14, McLean. They keep the half bringing the slide to that, so we'll see if they look to take advantage of that some more.
Just a matter of time, I would imagine. MJ Magic, he files up to risky pass there out to midfield. He's got Jackson Hyman, but Jackson got past his guy. The Trigger's looking at it, pushes it back to Ian Long. Ian files, he trades places with Titus. Titus now back behind at X, looking for a dodge move back there or setting it up.
So far, pretty stout defense from PG. They're certainly playing out. I wouldn't say as aggressive as some of the teams we've seen, but they're definitely pushing out on our attack.
Yeah, I had some time to talk to Coach Robbie Robinson There's a ball, there's a shot, and another save. So a lot of action with the goaltenders, as you said, Coach, and Porter's going to make their clear.
Bogan now 3 for 3.
Reed Lessman with the freshman pole back there, number 32. He drives it out. So the ball went out of bounds. It was off of Oceanside. It looks like, no, it's going to be Oceanside ball. So MJ is going to inbound. He comes darting through the alley. Sticks his foot in the box, backs out.
Tony, looks like Zanone's pretty well cemented himself back in the lineup here after coming back from that concussion, so that's good to see.
Well, anytime you have MJ doing MJ things on the field, there's a pretty good no ward call there. Everybody wanted it, and Titus the Trigger gets in, and he breaks the ice here, and that's going to be 1-0 at the 8:22 mark. It's going to be 1-0 Oceanside. You know, and this is something we wanted to see, you know, when I talked to Coach Harris. He wants to see these kids get fired up. He wants to see more emotion on the field. And you know, after a goal, we need to celebrate that.
Yeah, and Tony, let's be honest, there's differences in celebrations, right? There's nothing wrong with getting together with your teammates, giving them a hit in the head and say, you know, let's go, let's keep it going, and because this is a team game. So we want to have those good team celebrations. Great goal there by Titus. And we're up 1-0 with 8:22 left in the first.
All right, AJ back out here on the wing. The clamp comes away with it. He's trying to scoop it, and it's a fight at anybody's ball right now. Peanut Seaton says, that is mine. Ball still on the ground, no clean possession. It's out of bounds. And it looks like it's going to be Oceanside ball. We trade up midfielders again, get that line back out there that's been so productive.
We got Rosebach out there in the top middle now.
Yeah, Liam Rosebach checks in for his first shift of the game. And I believe it's Jackson Hyman that'll give way to him. And there is Ian Long says, I'm taking it from here. And he finds the twine for 2-0, 7:51 to go in the first. You got to like that move he made, Coach.
Yeah, nice little rip by Long coming across the middle there. That's not the first time we've seen him find that spot on the field. It definitely something he likes to go to, and good little shot past Bogan there, and we find ourselves 2-goal lead now, 7:51 in the first.
So we're back on the face-off dot. Cole the Clamp with Grandpa watching. He's got 3 straight wins out there, so he's feeling pretty good about that. Peanut comes up with it, another possession for the Sharks. He drills it into AJ. AJ dishes it off to Ian. Carter Gregory's going to kill a little time while we change players. AJ checks out. Trigger and Jackson check in.
Back to that line that started the game here.
Costa behind the net, over to Ian Long. I love the way Ian finds space for himself. He's a little guy, flies a little under the radar. He's taken some vicious hits, you know, and he certainly gets my tough as a truck stop steak award.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Tony, if you watch his feet, they're just always moving. He's very dynamic when he's out there, and I think that's why he manages to find space around him.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty good no look. I mean, he will shoot the ball looking away. I don't know whether that's fundamentally sound or not. Carter Gregory with a big rip, backed up by Costa. Carter was a little wide to the near side for him. Back inbounds. Costa to the Trigger. Trigger surveying behind the net, cruising the baseline under the goalpost.
Oceanside with a bit of a, what would you say, Tony, a calmer pace here with a 2-goal lead. Looks like they're content to move the ball around and look for a good shot. Although we did just lose possession there.
Yeah, well, the Trigger got one off. He bangs a rebound, and the rebound sneaks all the way down to the baseline. Here's one coming in right at us. Number 5 there is Grayer Hyatt. He makes the long feed into 23. He was trying to catch Lakin Hawkins, the sophomore. Was too high for him to handle.
Referee directing traffic here, putting Andy in the back corner.
Yeah, so Andy Jones is going to have to go the whole 100 yards. He makes a little basketball dribble with it. He runs up. He's looking for somewhere to go. A little dauber pass up to Peanut Seaton. AJ's back. Over to Ian.
And, Tony, that's 2 for 2 on clears tonight, so that's an improvement.
Yeah, and I think that, like I said, it's something that Tom really wanted to get done as we move into this second phase of the season, as we say. It was hard to judge against, again, that just a murderer's row of a schedule. Here's MJ. He's got wheels turning. He's got that look in his eye, and he dishes it off to the trigger. Titus looking around, feeds it out to Liam Rosebach. Liam to Carter, back and forth to them, back over to the trigger on the near side here. He makes a quick dodge, almost falls down. He finds himself some space, dishes it over to Costa. Costa can't handle. He's well covered by Grayer Hyatt. Ian's taking heavy shrapnel there from Hyatt. Back up top to Liam Rosebach. Liam gets by his man. He draws the slide, pushes it over to Long. Long back to Costa. Costa coming from X. He's in a lot of traffic, feeds it right into the goal, comes back with his own. Oh, my goodness gracious. Caden Kamikaze Costa goes into traffic, gets banged around, gets his own rebound, feeds it up to MJ, and MJ drives it home.
It was a bit like an alley-oop there,
Yeah.
kind of in front of the goal. What a great play by Costa to get his body turned around and to see MJ sitting there on the mouth of the goal. Beautiful shot, beautiful pass. And that's a legit lacrosse assist. Good for Costa there.
And there's the stamp of approval right now. My cousin Scott Cockero, watching from Lake Hartwell, a devout follower of our Oceanside Land Sharks, and his cousin AJ, the lifetime Turner sports producer and my mentor in broadcasting here. He says nice start, and that's as high praise as we're going to get for a guy that's spent his entire life watching pro sports
I don't think we ever knew we needed mentors in broadcasting.
Yeah, last year, he's told me a lot of things about what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and loves our combination here.
We just wandered down here one night and they handed us headsets.
There's a flag out. Who's coming off? So we're going to go man up.
Got a little bit of a slash
Porter,
call there on
number 3, West Freeman.
Yep.
So the big pole, junior West Freeman, number 3. He's going to take a knee in the sin bin here. And Oceanside's got the full armament out. It's going to be Hyman, AJ, Carter, Gregory, Magic, Trigger, and Ian. That is a lot of firepower. Let's see if we can cash in and make this a four-goal tilt.
Yeah, you got to think, Tony, we're really looking to score here just to open this game up a bit.
We got a whistle.
I heard something about a screen.
Seems a little odd, but okay. The Oceanside faithful kind of a little disgruntled about that behind us here. So Grayer Hyatt dishes it off in favor of, that's 24, Houston Snyder, the junior. He feeds it into the zone to no one, and it's coming back the other way.
Yeah, I think Porter-Gaud was looking for a little bit of a punt there just to get out of trouble in their own end. And
kill a little penalty time with the roll.
And he's going to have a mile to go here.
All right. Well, he gets it to the right guy. AJ's got wheels turning, flips it up to Peanut. Alex Peanut Seaton drives it into the zone. He ain't afraid to shoot, folks. We know that. We've seen Peyton's got Peyton. That's the abbreviation for Peanut Seaton.
It's Peyton's cousin, Peyton.
Peyton. So Peanut, he's not bashful about shooting. He likes the pole goal, and he's got a few of them this year. All right. Oceanside setting up shop. We've gone with the Trigger, Carter, AJ. Up top, Jackson Hyman off to the side. That man-up line is in. Over to Jackson Hyman on the far side. He's got the pole, number 33, stalking him. Charlie Riddell is a freshman. Coach Robbie Robertson really likes his pole sets, and they play solid defense.
Yeah, the poles have been good tonight, and even the shorties have been doing a good job at least guiding our players down to a pole. And it's kept the score here at 3-0 so far.
Oceanside cycling around, looking to see who's going to make a move. Jackson Hyman makes a move inside, gets past his guy, dishes it off to Ian. Oh, Magic. That's MJ in front. makes the feed for Carter. Carter goes a little wide with it. It's coming back the other way. Goal wasn't backed up.
Yeah, I think in all that craziness around the crease, we didn't have anybody get back to back up that shot. So turnover here. And there's Zarzaka with the interception.
They're calling A.J. out of bounds. He thought he dished it. He was not thrilled with the call.
Huck Nevin giving him a little business there, right on the tiptoe in the line.
Time of possession has been dominated by Oceanside here.
Great ride there by Long and Gilman getting a turnover, not giving up on the play.
MJ comes back in the game. Liam Rosebach, or is that 21 or 26? That's 21. That's going to be Finn Wagner. Finn's got it over here.
Finn joined in the 2 left crew. Now we got the 3 left crew out there.
Yeah,
right?
we got the 3 left. 3 non-rights.
We're just making new bands as we go. What a shot.
Carter Gregory puts it on the right side of the net, down low at the ankles. Goalie never stood a chance. And Carter said, I'm taking mine. So that's going to be 4-0, 1:29 to go in the first, and it is all Land Sharks early here.
You know, it's tough, Tony, because when Carter takes some of those shots, you're just not expecting it. You're thinking to yourself, how is he even in a position to shoot that? And all of a sudden it's in the back of the twine. So nice goal there by 55. And Oceanside opening the game up here with 1:29 left in the first.
Owen Kempker coming in here on the near side. Peanut Seaton on the far side. The clamp on the dot. Defense is ready. They got to stay sharp back there. I mean, it's been all Oceanside in the tilt, and the clamp is undefeated at the dot tonight. We've got there's going to be a trip. There's laundry all over the field. Brought to you by Tide.
Our first of the day.
And we're going to be man up again, and here comes the crew. So Porter finds themselves in a deep hole here at 4-0 with 1:21 to go in the first on a cool night. It was a beautiful day here in Charleston. You see a magnificent sunset off in the distance again. It rained horribly for the last 2 days here.
And it was cold.
And it was cold for Charleston. Ball's whistled in. AJ up top over to Jackson Hyman. Jackson feeds it, wheels it around to Ian. Ian up here to the trigger. Back to Ian in front of Carter, and it's 5-0.
Nice ball movement there by Oceanside on the man up.
Oceanside is having their way with the Cyclones. Again, folks watching at home for the Cyclones, I mean, we're just a couple of dads. It's obviously, that makes us a little partisan here. We try and call it straight. Enjoy having all these kids out here, and Porter is a long and successful, storied high school here locally in this rivalry. But right now it is all Land Sharks, 5-0 with 1:09 to play in the first. Clamps back out at the dot. AJ over here sizing up number 10. That's Bowen Barber, the junior. Clamp comes in. He feeds it backwards, gets a little bounce off, and Oceanside's getting all the balls here. All right.
Yeah, we had a ground ball pickup there, and then it went back to the ground. Now we have a turnover.
Yeah, and there you go. Chugging up the field is Wes Freeman. He's running. He gets undressed. Peanut Seaton yard sails him there, feeds it into Ian Long. Ian Long looking for somewhere to go with it. Wide pass, a little behind MJ, couldn't handle it, and we kind of had a fast break go awry there, Coach.
Yeah, that's a tough pass for Long because he's a natural lefty, so he's trying to kind of tilt his body to throw that pass all the way across field, and landed a little awkwardly for Zanone to try to scoop it up. So we got Porter-Gaud trying to get down in their offensive zone and get something started here with 25 seconds left.
Interesting movement in the lineup here. Again, you got AJ Zarzak. There's a big collision. MJ gives a shoulder to number 11. That's Huck Nevin. And MJ Magic Zanone said, I'm not having it. Puts a shoulder into him, and there's going to be a timeout with 13 seconds left in the first here. I don't have my sponsor sheet, so I'm going to cheat and come over by the birthday girl so I can see the big
he's,
screen.
he's going to the bigger screen.
I'm going to the bigger screen. So while we've got the timeout, let's thank our sponsors as the referees are the long arm of the law out there checking sticks. A lot of anxiety when that happens.
Always.
So we've got Benjamin Franklin Plumbing of Charleston. For all your plumbing needs locally, call your Benjamin Franklin pros. We've got Bowline Wealth Management, McDonald's, Charleston Design Centers, Axis Endurance Coaching, Jersey Mike's and Matzo Deli are Feed the Shark sponsors, Lolax Lacrosse, Charleston Elite Lacrosse, Coastal Millwork and Supply, Thomas Supply, Longshore Boats. It almost felt like a boating day today. Wasn't quite there. Saltwater Rides, Fast Trans Intermodal, Beacon Community Bank, Acme, and Playa Bowls. And then we have our families, the Craybills, the Funkadelics, the Gregorys, the Harrisons, the Hindmans, the Hollingsworths, the Johnsons, the Longs, and the Rosebachs. Thank you, all of our sponsors, and thank you to everyone that makes Oceanside Lacrosse possible. The Black and Blue Booster Club for football for helping us out with all this equipment that allows us to bring the action game after game all season long.
They do a good job at keeping my car full of junk for 2.5 months.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. They're charging us rental. We should be charging them for space.
Right?
This would be in someone's house.
Storage.
The trigger is stomping his way downfield. Pushes it over to Ian behind the net. Out to Carter Gregory. Carter sees something he liked, took a peek, didn't like it, goes back the other way, takes a left-hand shot high and wide, and it's back to the scoreboard behind the Olax net.
Carter working hard to get those hands free and just a bit too late.
He was watching the clock and wanted to get that last shot off and just airmailed it a little bit over the goal. So, well, that was one spirited quarter of lacrosse.
It's a great start. Again, I think that Cambridge game was an inflection point, maybe early in the season, but still a point where we needed a win at the right time and got it. And now I think it's continuing that momentum is what the important part is. And as we mentioned in pregame, we know how this game can get out of hand sometime, but right now Oceanside with a 5-goal lead looks to have control for the time being.
Well, one of our former coaches, Jack Kelly of Penn State fame, who's now coaching in Tennessee at a high school there, he once told me in his Canadian accent, Tony, it's a game of streaks. And, so 5 goals, I don't think anybody's satisfied. Coach Harris and Colin Reich and Clark Seaton and Alex Rode and Joey Boylston and our entire brain trust over there is telling them this is the start we've been looking for all year. I got to believe that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't have too much negative to talk about at this point, right? So you want to emphasize the positives and definitely here when you go out and put up 5 goals and really did we spend any time in our defensive zone? I don't think we had any time really down there besides when the ball was thrown in the zone. You got to be pretty happy with that as a coach. Tony, before we get to start here, just want to give a special thank you tonight to Migliori's, who was our Feed the Shark sponsor for this evening. Thanks to everyone at Migs and everybody in Mount Pleasant. Go enjoy some good pizza. One
of our favorite places, Don Migliori and his family, their new restaurant here in Mount Pleasant. Fantastic food, great people, good wine list. Go get yourself something good to eat. The Clamp just ate another face-off. AJ comes in to scoop it up. That move to put AJ on the wing, I'm liking that. Again, selfishly because he's my son, but I like the utilization there. We talk about it's a possession game, and even when the Clamp's having a tough time, digging those balls out for the wings is big. Yeah, Porter brought in Connell Grubb, number 20, on the faceoff that time. So it looks like they're trying to maybe find the answer to Cole the Clamp here in this game. So far, Cole's, I think, almost perfect. Yeah, I think we've come away with every single one, and Grubb being the younger brother of our buddy Mac Grubb, who's played with our boys since we got here. Mac is out tonight due to injury. Coach didn't tell me exactly what was bothering him, but that is a huge loss for the Cyclones because Mac Grubb is a force. There's a big save by the goaltender there. Carter took a good rip, put it on his ankles, and look at Carter with the ride against number 32 there, Reed Leesman.
And, Tony, I got to point out the pick that number 14, Jackson Hyndman, sent. He gave it up for the team on that one, helping to set Carter up for that shot.
Goodness gracious. The check that Peanut just threw to catapult that ball and cause that turnover was, we almost take it for granted because we're used to Peanut. And it looks like Tom Harris is going to take a timeout here as we, again, what a job by Peanut Seaton there.
When you have Peanut around, you never know what you're going to get, and I mean that in a good way. It's like one game to the next, he pulls something else out of the toolkit, and you're like, oh, there's another way to get that ball loose from somebody.
Yeah. So, the referees are checking more sticks, and again, the anxiety builds. It looks like they're Porter sticks this time, so that's a good thing.
I was going to say that stick looked familiar to me. I thought maybe it might have been Zanone's stick, and he was over there before the game getting that stick checked with the refs, but maybe that's not his stick. I'm not sure. No, it's not.
So all the boys are coming back out. So we're going to have a guest analyst here before long, Drew Gregory.
He better.
Drew Gregory, Oceanside goaltender, and the goaltender for the South Carolina Gamecocks team is here. He's on spring break, and he came home for his mama's birthday today. So we have him on site here. I see him over with some of the other older boys that have come back. He's over there with Brody. And is that Hayden over there?
I think that's Sarver.
Oh, that's Sarver. And Sarver's parents are right behind us, so that makes a ton of sense.
Looks like Sarver.
Yeah. So, happy to have him. He's going to come give us a little insight a little later in the broadcast. Okay?
Just no room for Porter-Gaud to work with here.
And I got to tell you, now they came away with the ball, but I got to tell you, when you're sandwiched between AJ and Peanut, this is not good. And Porter gets himself on the mark there, regardless of the defensive effort, which was pretty stout. And that was number 8, Pinckney Smith.
And so we know Pinckney well from Loggerheads Travel.
Yeah.
And Pinckney did a good job of getting himself down low at X, and no one really followed him. So
wow.
he had basically an open road back behind X and coming around the other side of the goal.
And how in good graciousness did he get out of the clamp, or the vice that AJ and Peanut had him in? I'm not really sure. He did a little Houdini.
Well, I don't think he was in that. I think he was smart and kind of got himself away from that. And the ball,
so he took the feed.
The ball ended up to him, and that's how he flew under the radar. So nice goal for Pinckney there.
Robo Reese Meredith over here, number 20 on the wing, making his first wing shift of the night, giving AJ a little blow. Owen Kimker on the other side. He runs off in favor of some more firepower. Jackson Hyman comes on. Here comes the firepower. Liam Rosebach checks in. So we've got MJ Magic Zanone. He's taking heavy fire from number 3 there, from Wes Freeman. Carter Gregory out wide, feeds it over to Long. Back to Kamikaze Costa there in his office at X. Jackson Hyman says, I'm going to get by you. He runs by number 10, draws a slide from 14. Carter has to hesitate for a minute in traffic there, looking for somewhere to go with it. MJ wheeling around. Hyman, Gregory. Carter runs by him, 14, feeds it over to Long. Rosebach puts his foot in the ground, wheels backwards, can't shake his defender, and now there's a whistle. Any idea what that's for, Coach?
I was looking at my roster page here when that happened. Sorry, Tone, and I missed it.
And Porter-Gaud, he did not touch it. Number 11 pleading his case. Huck Nevin is pleading his case that Robo Reese touched it, but we're standing right in front of him. He clearly did not touch it. Ball ran out of bounds. Liam Rosebach's going to inbound it here from the alley. They're going to be easily in for the touch. There's a flag on the far side of the field. I assume that means they're offsides.
Yeah,
So-
because number 11 came right back over when the flag came out.
And he was unhappy with it. There's another flag. I assume they're still trying to consent, which, 2 flags will ensue a caucus at some point. Carter Gregory behind Oceanside. The Land Sharks with a free play here. Jackson Hyman going to set the pick. He takes a huge shot. There's another.
Holy cow.
There's more flags.
Tony, there's not enough Tide at the grocery store.
Yeah,
for what's out there now.
we're definitely into Downey territory now.
So we got 4 flags on the field.
We've got offsides. We've got a charge. We've got Porter people. We've got Cyclones headed for the sidelines. And
This ref's going to have to write this down to remember what to call over here. See if I can see across the field.
Huck Nevin and the junior defender LSM Max McLean, who Coach Robertson is very high on. A really solid defender, physical kid, emotional.
So Oceanside, 2 men up. 8:20 left in the second.
So we're looking to keep our foot on the gas here. We've talked about it all year. All gas, no brake here. Jackson Hyman, Oceanside with the full armament. You got to believe, AJ, look, I thought he was going to step that down. Carter Gregory wings one off. It caught
Ian Long ducking for his life on the other side of that shot.
He had one whistling toward him about 75, 80 miles an hour, and the little guy gets out of the way. Brings it back. And this should be like a shooting gallery here. Jackson thinks about it. AJ thought about it. He chokes up on it. Back around to Carter. Carter to Hyman. Hyman is not going to – somebody just took his shot.
Nice little check there by Wes Freeman to get Hyman off his balance. And we are now man up. Porter-Gaud get a man back.
AJ, Hyman, AJ, Trigger, Hyman, AJ wheels down low. Carter Gregory looking for him. He finds it. No shot. Hyman, Trigger. Around we go. Ian Long, AJ looking at it. He had a little real estate. Pushed it over to Gregory. Props to the defense here. There's another shot off a body, and the goaltender manages to corral it.
Great
Kyler Bogan.
Great defensive stand by Porter there, Tone.
And there's a reason Coach Robertson loves his poles. 24's running out of real estate. MJ pushes him out of bounds. And did they get the timeout in time?
I think Porter's coach got the timeout.
All right, so 5-1, 7:03 to play in the half on a magnificent night here. Angie without her parka, but I can tell she's getting cold.
She looks like she's got that pre-parka face
Yeah,
going.
she's got a pre-parka face. That's exactly what we've got going here. The birthday girl did not bring enough outerwear for this event this evening. It's probably in the 50s, I would guess.
Think it's that cool?
I do. It went up to 70-something today, and I think it's ducked down here. There is not a cloud in the sky. Their stars are out.
My technology says it's 63. So
it's 63, so we're close. We're only a couple degrees away from the 50s.
We can't judge our weather forecast by Angie because when it's 80, it's a little too cool. So.
Yeah.
Mark Heinman checking in here on the chat board, watching from St. Pete again. Big game for the boys. He's thanking Tony, Angie, Chris, everyone who makes watching and listening possible. It takes a village. Mark knows that, and Melissa, they're very active in our program along with many of our parents, and we're glad he's able to tune in and get to see Jackson play tonight.
Couldn't do it without him.
Again, Tony, we're always thanking our sponsors. Thank you to all our parents, too. It does take a village to get all this put together and running for the boys, and parents are very happy to help out typically.
And thanks for chiming in, Mark, and anyone else out there. Feel free to like the page and comment. We'll read it on the air. If you like what you hear, then let us know. If you don't, well, then, you can keep that to yourself. There's Peanut in a pretty good duel with number 11, Huck Nevin, who was just in the box. And, Huck appears to be a pretty good spark plug for his team. So the Cyclones are going to collapse. They made it through the two-men down.
What a back check there by Huffines as Porter was coming around the goal. He just kind of stuck the stick out and robbed the ball carrier from behind, and Oceanside transitioning again pretty smoothly here, Tone, which is a great improvement.
I'll tell you, they really, I don't want to jinx it, but they seem to have it figured out.
What a
MJ with
grab.
a really good grab.
All right, Oceanside needs to slow it down now. Just take a breath.
Yeah, we got to get some people on the field here. What a grab and athletic play by MJ Magic Zanone. He puts it, the pass was wide. He reaches out, one-arms it. There's a one-hopper, kind of a dirt ball.
And Porter's got that backed up.
And Porter survives another onslaught by the Land Sharks.
That's a few turnovers for us tonight on shots, Tony. That might be something coaching staff will be chatting about at halftime. Got to be backing up these shots better.
Number 3, Wes Freeman, trucking up the field, and he throws it away. Robo Reese is after it.
He is fast, isn't he, Tone?
Reese?
No, number 3, Wes Freeman. That kid's got some wheels.
Then
he gets it down there, and he went to pass it, and it went past his guy, and he held his head because he's like, what'd I just run for?
Well, the measure of that was he was running away from Zanone,
right?
Which isn't that easy. There's another whip check there by 29 on Jackson Heineman. He sets up shop. Oceanside's got to get some bodies on the field here. Here comes the trigger. It looks like we've got CJ in the box going to check in on defense.
Every time I put my head down, something weird happens that I can't talk about. Sorry about that, but we have a turnover here.
George Lowry, the freshman there, number 29 on the short stick attack there.
Nice move on Hyman, but no harm, no foul.
It's Huck Nevin, very, very active here on the offense as a midfielder. And the Porter Cyclones, they've got some youth on the field here. 4:54 and ticking down, 5-1 Land Sharks. Jackson Hyman stalking. He gets the stick out there. Love to see that. There's a pass they can't handle. That's going over, and that's over and back, and that's going to be Oceanside ball. So MJ's going to inbound it from the top of the restraining box, gets in, gets the touch, and now everybody's going to settle down.
So hard for those poles to judge the bounce on that ball as it's coming at him at midfield, and skips over and gives Oceanside a chance for a possession here. 4:27 left in the half.
And the ball bounce is different, and Porter's their home field is grass, so they play on natural grass a lot, and I'm sure they play on a ton of turf in their visiting games, but it is different when you don't practice on it every day. So the ball bounces and comes off faster, slower, different things. Kamikaze Costa said, I'm taking mine. No hesitation. Costa takes the feed and lights the lamp.
That's a quintessential Costa shot right there. Grab the ball, turn around, fire.
Yeah, the only thing that would have made it more Costa is if he had a body hanging on him.
This is true.
That would have been more quintessential Costa.
Or moved a body
Right.
as he was shooting.
He's a big boy. He had his feet planted. He had a good stroke on it, and that thing was on a laser beam into the twine.
About 4 minutes left here before halftime.
So Grubb in the clamp, CJ here, Andy Jones on the far wing. Oh, no, he stepped out of bounds. I don't know who's on the wing over there. Oh, it's AJ. There he is. With the white jerseys, they all mesh together. And the clamp, we still come away with the possession.
Still come away.
So I was almost going to say the clamp finally got beat in some form or fashion, but Oceanside possession is an Oceanside possession. AJ trucking up the sideline.
Oh.
It's okay. It's still going to be Oceanside ball. It went off of them. AJ went to make a pass.
24 looking like a defensive end there, getting up in the air and knocking that down.
Yeah, and AJ basically like a basketball move. He pushed it off of that guy's body out of bounds and stops the play. Now, I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it looked good.
It was effective.
It was excellent, yes. All right, Carter Gregory, MJ to Carter, Carter to Hyman. Trigger retreating back toward the O. The Porter defense is pushing out a little bit. They're starting to press here at 6-1. Down 6-1, 3 minutes to go in the half. It'll be interesting with this size lead what kind of halftime adjustments Coach Harris makes and what kind of adjustments Coach Robertson makes. Holding on to a lead has been something else we want to improve on. There's Ian Long says, I want the lead to be bigger.
And great ball movement there by Oceanside. A little bit of an offensive structure there that I don't remember seeing. Maybe they kind of free played it. I don't know. But nice job, and Ian Long up top with that goal.
Yeah, and that's Ian's second of the game.
It is.
So Ian's smelling hat trick. And like I said, you can't be anything but impressed with the freshman. All right, AJ on the other side, CJ over here, the clamp on the dot against Grubb. Jessica Grubb over my left shoulder, filming her boy. The clamp comes away with it again, clean, over to Costa. Costa up to AJ. AJ dishes it. Finn Wagner out there. AJ pushing it around.
Changing some personnel here.
One hopper to Costa. Timeout? What was that?
No. Another turnover. And I'm not sure because, again, I wasn't looking where the penalty was called on the far side of the field where the ball was not. So
yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on
something
there.
going on off ball.
Long pass. Heavy fire coming from Peanut Seaton. The young man's in trouble. There's the flag. So Seaton was chopping at him like Paul Bunyan.
I think they're going to get Silas. He was getting in a couple whacks from the other side of the midfield line, and I think he might have got a little too high as he was whacking.
All right, Silas Gillum with his blue shoes. Don't step on my blue suede shoes, Silas Gillum. He is going to take a knee.
You can't make that a nickname. That's too many words.
That's too many words, but I saw his blue shoes, so there it was. All right, inbounded. We're back to live lacrosse here. Oceanside with their first man down of the night, I think. We'll see what the Cyclones man up might have to offer. They got a 6-goal deficit they're trying to chop their way out of. They're playing from down in a well here. They got a long way to climb. But it's a game of streaks. They throw the pass away. Your boy Gavin is after it, and that is a goalie hustle right there.
And I wasn't a shot, so I think Gavin was chasing it just to make sure they didn't try to go and get it.
Thomas to Gavin. Gavin looking for somewhere to go. He gets it to the pickpocket. AJ's back. Thomas is going to run the field. Peanut gives him the pick, and Tom Harris is going to take his last time out of the half, which is a perfect time for it.
Yeah, good timeout. We had a little huddle forming at midfield here, and that may have been tough for Thomas to run through that gauntlet. Get some sponsors back on the screen here.
Let's do that. Let's do that. I wish I had my sheet. It's still small. It's still small, so we're going to go Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, Thomas Supply, Longshore Boats, Saltwater Rides, Bowline Wealth Management, McDonald's, I'm loving it, Coastal Millwork and Supply, Fast Trans Intermodal, Lolax Lacrosse, Charleston Elite Lacrosse, Charleston Design Center, Matzo Deli, Jersey Mike's, our Feed the Shark sponsors, and Migliori's Pizza, our Feed the Shark sponsors tonight. Gotta love the guys at Migliori's. That's one of our after-game haunts. When we finish up, we go there and carb the boys up and get them some water. Boys are taking back to the field here. Carter Gregory's going to bring it in from the alley. Nobody's in a hurry. Not a lot of urgency to get back to it.
No, you got to think Oceanside would like to put one more on the board here before half.
So we've got Carter Gregory over here. He gets the nod from the referee. Does a little basketball dribble, steps in the box, gets the touch, no problem. Carter surveying. We've got Jackson Hyman in the stable. Everybody gets on sides, goes across to the trigger, over to Jackson. Jackson stumbles there a little bit on the turf. Tripped over the restraining box. Back behind the net, maintains possession, no harm, no foul.
turf's starting to get a little damp, Tone. I just bent over and felt it, so might see some guys slipping here as they're get used to adjusting their feet.
Little condensate affects the bounce. You know, it's a cool night. It was a warm day. Jackson looking for somewhere to go with it, feeds it off to Carter. 2 guys behind. And I'll tell you, the Porter defense is just that's not good. Costa just took that, and there's somebody puts it in the back of the twine, says enough's enough. Was that Ian Long?
I believe that was MJ. Maybe I might be wrong.
I'm not 100% sure.
I was busy watching Costa to make sure he was okay.
Yeah, Costa took that drilled right in the back of the leg.
Yeah, I took my eyes off everything. Sorry about that.
And I'm saying it's his leg, but
it was Ian?
I think that was Ian's hat trick.
So we got to give him a good shout out there.
Absolutely. The freshman with his first high school hat trick.
Beautiful.
The first of what's going to be a whole bunch for that kid over the next 4 years.
That kid's got a future here, man. To be playing the role he is as a freshman already is just incredible. Just love watching him play and move.
8-1, 27 seconds left. The clamp is feeling it. Everybody's after it. AJ puts a shoulder into the defender. He comes away with it. Physical.
Great fight for the ball there.
There's a huge shot off the goalie's foot. What a good save. He's going to feel that tomorrow.
Yeah, Boggin using his leg for that save.
MJ gets pelted. He's hurt. And we've got MJ took a shot to the leg. So you don't like to see that. MJ Magic Zanone down holding his right ankle. He's in pain. He's got the head bob going. Oceanside coaches, trainers. Here comes Katie Niemeyer, trainer extraordinaire. MJ gets to his feet. He's going to hobble off.
You don't like to see that.
No, and he stops for a breath there. Katie's got him. It doesn't get any better than Katie Niemeyer when you're talking about athletic training.
Oh, and that's halftime.
Oh.
I just realized that.
So we got that is going to be the half. No sense coming back from it. Not sure exactly, we'll try and find out. I will dispatch Liliana Zarzaka to our sideline reporter.
Our sideline reporter.
And photographer. She's capturing images for hype season for Josiah, who does all of our, one of the big compliments we get, and I haven't given him a shout out yet this year, so I'm going to do it. Josiah and the hype season crew. Everybody asks, who does all your media? Who does the hype videos, the clips? He's doing that here. Lily's capturing a lot of the pictures, but he's doing that here in real time. He shoots the video, he puts the music to it, and bing, it's on Instagram while we're standing here talking.
The eye he has for things is unbelievable, not to mention, obviously, the talent of kind of doing that on the fly. I think of how hard it is for me to take a picture of someone standing in front of me still.
Right.
And you think of what he puts out on the internet, both pictures and video, mixing it with music, everything. It's just an unbelievable talent. We're so lucky to have him as part of the program.
Yep, we're watching across the field. He's sitting at a laptop right now, and he's uploading that in real time. He's capturing the images, putting the music to it, and then it'll be on Instagram for the end of the game. And it has a very college feel to it. That's something that Coach Harris really wants. It is Oceanside Collegiate Academy. We have the athletic superiority that we enjoy here, and you really want them to have that kind of feel.
Yeah, it's a good look, and I think the boys like it too. A little bit of swagger and celebrating all that hard work that they're doing, certainly.
All right, well,
take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. I am not going to get a parka like Angie's going to go find in her car, but I am going to put a sweatshirt on because my northern blood is thinning, and at 60 degrees, I'm going to need a sweatshirt. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, back with live lacrosse. Thank you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live to the Reef at Oceanside Collegiate Academy. We are back from a very quick half, and we've got Oceanside up 8-1 with a 7-goal lead here, heading into the second half.
So, Tony, I have my father-in-law in town this week and my mother-in-law. I love them dearly. And every time he moves or bends over, he groans.
Right.
And I make fun of him of it. Now I realize every time I've been over tonight, I groan. So I don't know if I'm just doing it because I've been hearing it all week or what. But
well, my cousin Scott Cockrell just texted me that I'm soft because I needed a sweatshirt.
Oh. So let's get this sponsorship thing out of the way so Angie can film.
And we're getting back at it. Live lacrosse. The Clamp looking to extend his streak of possessions here. AJ at the near side here. Peanut Seaton, or no, Robo Reese on the other side. And the Clamp has been defeated here due to a procedure issue. So the Porter-Gaud Cyclones will start the second half with a possession right out of the gate. That's Huck Nevin with the ball. Up at the top of the restraining box, getting pressured by AJ. Robo Reese over here on number 8, Pinckney Smith. Pinckney running around, Reese matching feet with him, and he's with him. And it helps that Reese's legs are 9 feet long. The ball's on the ground. It's anybody's ball, and Thomas, the pickpocket, comes. He feeds AJ. AJ gets the Jets going. He's covering the turf. He's rolling in, spins it over to MJ. MJ back, great to see him, and there's the goal.
Good to see MJ back out there. Nice job. Costa with the second of the game.
What a transition game that was, Coach.
So great defensive stand to start the quarter, and then a beautiful transition and a great goal there.
It starts with Robo Reese stalking. He gets the ball on the ground. Thomas, the pickpocket, manages to come up with it, as he always does. Feeds it out to AJ like they've been doing since they were 10 years old. AJ gets the wheels turning, comes in, feeds MJ, feeds Costa, and Costa's in for 2. So didn't Hayden call the other night 2 goals for Costa? So he was 1 game off.
Yeah, his crystal ball was just a little too far in the future.
Yeah, well, he's at college. His crystal ball is always going to be cloudy.
A little hazy, as they say.
A little hazy. Hazy Hayden. So I'm sure he's listening. So good. Thanks for listening in, Hayden. Porter comes up with the ball.
Oh, Bill White checking in on our comment board here. Happy birthday to my lively daughter, Angela Gregory.
Look at that.
Oh, thank you, Mr. White, for your comment. And our birthday girl is blushing next to us.
I think she's shivering. I don't know if that was blush. All right, Porter-Gaud is in business. Oceanside in a defensive posture. Big Sawyer Arnold. He takes a swipe at number 8, Pinckney Smith. Big size mismatch there. Don't think there's a speed mismatch. Sawyer can cover a lot of ground. He drills it, and Sawyer, on his first shift, is going to head to his mobile office, kneeling down in the box.
Sawyer makes a visit once, sometimes twice a game, and he's going to find himself over there.
And he has such a long reach, and he's so physical, and he's so ridiculously strong that, a little shove from him is going to be a big deal. So our guest analyst just checked in. Go get your headset on over there. Coach is going to set you up. We've got Drew Gregory, former Landshark goaltender here, and current South Carolina Gamecock goaltender for their club team. You on?
Oh, no, is this working?
He's
All right,
on.
we're talking.
It is working. So welcome, Drew.
Happy to be here.
On spring break, Peanut Seaton running. He gives it up to Costa. Costa couldn't handle it, but almost dribbled it on net.
Costa was smelling number 3 there, Tony.
Well, I mean, a hat trick for him, and he will lose his mind.
Yes, he will.
He's already the emotional spark plug of this team, undisputed. AJ looking at it there. There's a ball comes flying in. Thomas, the pickpocket, comes up with it. Back to Andy Jones, feeds it up top. Robo Reese drills it into the zone, and MJ Zanone, he winds, fires one hopper, and now we've got more flags. MJ took another shot.
So, Drew, give us your 2 cents on the game here so far for the first half.
1 goal, not much to complain about there. Wish it was 0, but you can only ask for so much.
Drew, while we got you, you're sitting in a 9-1 tilt here. The time of possession is all Oceanside here. What's Gavin back there thinking? I mean, how do you stay sharp? I mean, it's not really a back and forth kind of game, although they're getting their chances possession, but not a lot of shots on goal. As the goaltender, what are you thinking back there when you're just standing there is that a good thing that you just kind of have no work to do, or do you like the action?
You sit there too much, get a little hit in the ties, you start watching the game, forget you're playing in it.
Well, what do you think, Coach? I mean, he's your boy.
I think my boy would say the less shots he has, the better. But I do think there's something said. You gotta stay in the game and be engaged. And I think sometimes you just need a little action in your end to keep you into it.
All right, we're back to action here. It's not really man up because we both got a guy in the box at least for a little while. So AJ, Carter, Heineman, the trigger, Ian, and MJ are out there on the man. Well,
we are man up now.
It's man up personnel. Yeah, we're man up now. So that we got our guy back. Jackson took a peek at it, didn't like it. AJ, Jackson, Carter. Jackson says, "I'm taking it."
Good take by Heineman there.
10-1, all Land Sharks over Porter-Gaud.
We have Cole Bradford's Nani is watching you. You're the man. Also, Macy Green saying go Cole. Cole's had a heck of a night here so far.
Cole's got his first hat trick in his fan club out there.
That's Ian.
Oh, it's Ian. Sorry. Yeah, Cole. Well, Cole's going.
I was going to say he won a lot more than 3 faceoffs.
Yeah, he's got. Sorry, Ian Long. Both freshmen, both little guys. AJ doing his calisthenics here on the near side. The clamp out on the dot. Robo Reese on the far wing. Little golf shot back to AJ. He's in the zone. Drills it over to the trigger. Ian back there. Ian Long with his hat trick, just so I got the people right.
So, Drew, you've been playing club lacrosse with USC now for 3 years. What do you think's the biggest difference between lacrosse at the high school level and then once you get to the club level up in college?
Well, the biggest thing is, you don't have to motivate people to play the sport. They're there to play because they want to play. Nothing's keeping them there. So everybody there is ready to play. Everybody's there to have a good time, and they're all good players on the side of that.
Pretty good shot. Thank you for that analysis. Pretty good shot. A turnover down deep there. Here comes the ball coming in. It's coming hot. Drew put his glove up as if he was a hockey goalie.
I'm glad I have the goalie next to me.
Yeah, we have the goalie to protect us here. And notice he didn't jump in front of his mother, so we ranked there. Ball coming down. Gavin Harrison is hopping mad, jumping up and down. Not sure what he was fired up about.
I think he didn't like somebody roaming around his home down there. Wanted to make sure the ref knew about that.
MJ Zanone gets in for the touch while we get everybody squared away that we need squared away. Just got a check-in from my father. Pop Z has exited the premises. He is home watching on his couch.
He's going home where it's warmer.
He's going where it's warmer. AJ at the top here. Over to the trigger. 11-1 Land Sharks, 7:21, the third period here. Drew Gregory, our guest analyst here, as we're calling the action live from the Reef at Oceanside Collegiate Academy. Ian Long, once again, now the goaltender had an answer for it that time, but that's the same move he put in for his first goal, where he wheeled around the net, finally found his space, and then just dinked it in there.
All right, Drew, so let's talk about the other side of the coin. So we talked about Gavin kind of riding on an 11-1 lead here. How about being in the shoes of the Porter-Gaud goalie here with such a deficit? What's that like in a goalie's mind?
I mean, I can't lie. He's been playing pretty good. He's made a lot of saves this game.
He has. He certainly has.
Scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but he's playing a pretty good game for what he's been facing, so props to him.
And in your mind, is it just you're always thinking about the next save when you're in a position like that?
It's just you against yourself. You don't worry about the scoreboard.
Right.
Well, that's that's an interesting mentality to have. I mean, it's a pretty lonely spot, that crease, isn't it?
Very. Nobody else goes in, just you.
All right, Finn Wagner gets stripped of the ball there. Porter fighting for it.
Nice pickup there by Rosebach.
Rosebach comes out of the crowd with it, gets it over to Carter Gregory. Carter puts his foot in the ground, makes a stop, comes it back, big rip. That's wide, backed up by MJ.
Yeah, that's Carter's bread and butter over there. He had those hands free, got that rip.
MJ going to bring it in. MJ doesn't look like he's missing a step, but he was a little shook up right before the half, but he looks to be fine. Oh, there's one off the post. And once again, Porter-Gaud goaltender Kyler Bogan, he's got an answer for a lot of what, as Drew mentioned, the score is not indicative of how well that goaltender's playing. And really their defense, they've caused a lot of turnovers. Players matching feet running off.
So, Tony, as we're waiting for personnel, one more shout-out to my little nephew, C.J. Cooley. Apparently he begged to stay up late because he's now into lacrosse and wants to watch the rest of the game. So I know he's tuned in. Hope you're doing good, CJ. Make sure you get to bed soon.
Well, and it's funny. I empathize with that. And quick story there. When we were kids, and you probably have a similar situation since we're the same age. When we were kids, it was a big deal. A couple nights a week, we'd be allowed to stay up a little later to get the whole first period of the Flyers game up in Philly.
Oh, yeah.
And if we could listen to Gene Hart and Bobby Taylor, which we are not them.
We are not.
If we could listen to Gene Hart and the Chief for the whole period, and if we were really good, we got to see a little bit of the second period before we got launched.
That was back in the days of Prism, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That was
for the non-Philadelphia people. They're like, "What is Prism?" But
yeah,
that's the beginnings of pay TV.
That was our first cable company, and Prism. Peanut looking for the pole goal, and Bogan has an answer for Peanut. Peanut's he's not going to be satisfied with it.
He's not done yet.
He just runs and runs and runs.
It's like he just looks for the next body to take. It's incredible.
He's a hockey player. So Andy Jones going to work back there. Peanut's going to stand in one spot for a total of 2 seconds. Andy Jones, great job. Good check, Andy, and he comes away with it, feeds it over to his goaltender, Gavin. Out to AJ, and that's been the modification personnel-wise on the AJ's playing a lot more D-mid tonight in transition.
I like that look, Tone. Getting that transition is so important, and it's just been made to look much easier tonight. AJ's had a big part in that.
Yeah, him and Tom really had a chalkboard session after the game the other night and into yesterday. And I think they caught lightning in a bottle here. They figured something out. Couldn't handle it. Jackson Hyman, the pass was just a little off to his offhand, and he couldn't quite handle it. There's a scoop by number 11, Huck Nevin. Crossfield pass. Grayer Hyatt having a little trouble corralling it. Gets it off to the big defender, Reed Leesman. CJ's there. Carter Gregory grabs it in his cross, gets another touch. So we're going to start over.
A little messy here in the third.
Yeah, 2:40 clicking down.
Looks like Oceanside wants to slow it down here a bit, which is probably a good idea.
Everybody take a breath. Finn Wagner checking into the game, or is that Liam? That's Liam Rosebach.
Finn's out there too.
Liam at the top. Rosebach wheels around, still has it. Ian Long comes back up top here, the top of the restraining box. Trigger to the right, Magic to the left. Finn Wagner in the middle, standing in front of an army of maroon jerseys. Carter Gregory picks it up. Aaron couldn't handle it. And there's a number 5, Grayer Hyatt is on the move.
Good hustle by Hyatt there to pick up that ground ball.
But he runs right into Thomas Huffines, and Thomas wasn't having it. I think you got to, we got to really look at this. The pole play of the Land Sharks tonight has been very, very stout. Incoming.
Look at that.
Steady hand.
It's like a shortstop there.
Folks, you couldn't see that, but Drew Gregory, cool as the other side of the pillow, reaches out. One hand's the one hopper.
With the glove hand.
With the glove hand. Stares it down and snares it. Robo Reese working on Lakin Hawkins. He gives the ball up. He's had enough of Reese. Out to 28, Aiken Gerard.
Porter-Gaud just not finding much room to move right now. The Oceanside defense just smothering.
Sawyer Arnold, fresh out of the box. He gives the same kid, number 8. Sawyer's gives him a couple whacks in the back, pushes him. There's a big collision, and the laundry flies. And Sawyer's got the one hand out. Who me?
Yeah, Sawyer's going to take his walk here.
Now, it might actually not be on Sawyer because Sawyer pushed it. Nah, it's going to be on Sawyer.
He got a good. It was the third one was the charm as Pinckney was going into goal there, and referee saw it.
So our all-world defensive end turned lacrosse player has made a living. You know, last year he had a pole. Definitely too dangerous with that. So they gave him a shorter stick, and which gets his body closer to the opponent.
And he's got the body for it too. You know, he's not only is he tall, but he's broad, and he can match up with these guys body-wise
If
too.
you close your eyes, he looks like Joey Boylston back in the day. Just a big guy, long legs. You know,
that's a compliment.
Yeah, just a big guy. So, Drew, what's the outlook for USC's lacrosse team this year?
Rough start with the first couple of games, but I think we've won 3 in a row now. So we're looking on the upside. We got to keep winning if we want to do anything good. But
what do you got left? Where are we in the season?
We're about halfway through the season right now. If we want to do anything good, we have to win the conference. That's 6 games away, 7 games away. And then if you win that, you go to the championship, and everybody knows what you have to do from there. So
the club lacrosse scene, obviously we're full tilt into NCAA lacrosse. The club lacrosse scene, people don't really know, how competitive that is. And, we know obviously because AJ's coming there. He's going to play with you. It's a whole little different world. I mean, when you think of the SEC, the Southeastern Conference in NCAA, this is the sports mecca of the world for college. And yet they have not adopted NCAA lacrosse, Division I lacrosse. Now, I've heard people talk about Title IX issues and all sorts of reasons that they don't have it. But, what's your take on that? Any rumblings of any kind of transition in the future? I mean, it feels weird when you look at the power the power structure of lacrosse, and the SEC is noticeably absent. The ACC is half represented with powerhouse teams, Carolina, Duke, so on and so forth. Virginia,
Notre Dame,
yeah. They're all playing, and obviously the Big Ten is fully stacked and represented, and then you have the West guys, the Denvers and the teams out there, Utah's. But what's the rumbling around the club circuit? I mean, is anything in our future there?
I mean, I think the biggest issue is football is just way too powerful. Football brings in way too much money. They don't want to spend in other places. Plus, you ask a lot of club guys, I don't think they wanted to move to NCAA. They like where it is right now. They like their 3 practices a week and time off.
Well, and that seems reasonable. You still are student athletes. You still wear an SEC Division I jersey and uniform, and you kind of get your cake and eat it too, you think?
Absolutely. You get to do all the fun things of being at a big school and don't have to have all the nagging responsibilities of the NCAA on your back all the time.
And among the club world, we've got a shot coming in. Shots wide. And among the club world, I mean, USC's pretty much cream of the crop. I mean, they've won this thing a couple of times, right?
Yeah, they've won it the past couple of years. Definitely a legacy program, one that people definitely know about and know for club lacrosse, so –
well,
we got a lot of NCAA transfers, guys who, didn't like it at their NCAA school, so they want to play for the Gamecocks now, and they're loving it.
And from all over the place.
All over, D1, D2, all over the place.
So we've got, is that a timeout there, Coach? No, we're at the quarter.
The end.
We're talking about college lacrosse as the boys are wrapping up here. Nothing really to report on field, and really just enjoying having Drew here and the third headset cooking here. Fascinated by this. Now, obviously, my son, AJ, number 33, he's coming there to play with you.
Yep.
And the Gamecock tradition, you know, he got accepted at Clemson, and we really thought he would be going there with your brother Carter, and you know, with their friendship and to participate in the club team down there at Clemson. And the angle there was, well, they are already an ACC school, and they just built a $37 million lacrosse facility, and the theory was, well, look, maybe Clemson's going to make the jump. Now we have Tegan Scott here from Oceanside. She's going to play NCAA girls Division I lacrosse at Clemson. But he made the move to SC when we asked him why he did it. You had a lot to do with it, so thank you for your influence there. And he just thought the quality of the program was more mature, and you know everybody wants to play for a winner. So to your point.
That's right. I'm glad he picked the right school, not the ugly one on the other side of the state.
I was just going to say he picked Garnet instead of orange. That's
he
smart
picked
thing
a better
to do.
color. Nobody looks good in orange.
So we now have the diagonally house divided with his older sister just graduating from Clemson. She is proud of her brother, but she made no bones about it. She will not wear Garnet for any reason ever. She is a Clemson Tiger, and you know he is going to be a Gamecock. So it's some interesting days ahead in the Zarzaka house. The holidays are going to get interesting.
Sibling rivalry never goes away.
And you have the same thing coming.
Nope.
You know, Angie, you're going to have to buy the flag too.
Couple shout-outs here, Tony. Macy Green saying go Cole. Julie Mills watching from Maryland. Go Cole Bradford. Steph Johnson. Sorry, I got the screen blocked here.
So Cole comes away with it. AJ Zarzaka drills it. He finds the twine. So he's been a couple games without a goal, and he finally finds room for a step down and mails it home. Good job, kid.
Nice goal by AJ. Steph Johnson checking in. Happy birthday, Angie. Feeling like a rock star.
So thank you for all your comments. Thank you for checking in. Thanks to Drew Gregory here on the sidelines with us. As the boys build a 12-1 lead, and we are one goal away from a running clock. And within this rivalry, that's some bad medicine if you're on the wrong side of that one. Cole has done an excellent job. Robo Reese is out there after it.
Reese looking great on the wing tonight, Tony.
Yeah, we've really got this figured out. You know, and I mean, let's face it again. All due respect to the Porter-Gaud. Oh, there's a little bobble by Gavin. He fixes his own mess, wings it downfield, finds Carter Gregory in the middle, and everything is just going right for the Land Sharks tonight.
I don't think Gavin thought that defender had him quite as matched up as he did there, and knocked it right down to the ground, but he cleaned up the mess and moved it forward.
Yeah, so this is, you know, again, Drew, you're here. That walk, I mean, just Gavin, head down, just kind of swinging his stick, you know, on his way back to solitude there, right?
Yeah, you know you messed up. You're just glad nothing else came from it.
All right, back in the offensive zone. The field's been tilted all night. The trigger over to Heineman. Have we called Jackson's number tonight, Coach?
Yeah, believe so, early on.
He got one early, right?
I think so.
With 12 on the board, it feels like an eternity. Hot pass coming in to little Ian Long. Carter Gregory winds, fires, missed it top right.
We need to hire a live statistician for us, Tone, to to keep us in the loop of where we are at during these games.
I feel like we should have a parent volunteer for that somewhere along the way.
Or we should just write it on the paper ourselves.
There's a Chris Coretta sighting behind me. A lot of the Wando, and I saw Bear Hankins here. I saw Henry Hankins here. So the Lucy Beckham crew is off tonight. Came to support.
Oh, what
Ian
a rip.
Long rings one off the left top post. Couldn't get home. Jackson Hyman runs after it out of bounds. The ball's inbounded there. He's got Caden Costa in front with stick up. Costa looking for a hat trick. The trigger wide. Magic MJ Zanone. He's going to bring it in from the baseline there under the goalpost. Here at the Reef, Oceanside Collegiate Academy, Carter Gregory up top, Jackson Hyman. Trigger calling for it over on the side, back to Jackson. Carter's going to snipe here.
Porter-Gaud run a zone here. See how this turns out.
Yeah, they got it packed in tight, huh?
Probably tired of running. What do you think, Drew?
They just want this game to be over with.
Yeah.
Jackson, Trigger, Jackson, Carter. I don't know if we tried for the skip pass or it got tipped, right? So it's going to be off of Porter. It's going to remain Oceanside ball, white ball. Oceanside out there in their gleaming blue helmets, Air Force blue helmets, white jerseys, home whites. The triggers, wind, fires. Whew, what a save.
Was post somewhere.
That's a goalie's best friend.
That thing was blistered. Oh, there's a shot in the head. No call right in front of the referee. MJ can't buy a call tonight. What's a guy got to do?
Refs might be looking at the score on that one, Tone.
Yeah.
Obviously no malice in that. It wasn't a chop or anything.
Not at all. Carter. Costa drops his shoulder out to Carter. Carter's got room now. He says no. Jackson Hyman. Triggers never met a shot he didn't like. Stumbles, comes back the other way. Carter. All Land Sharks here. Zanone. He puts one down at the feet. Goaltender gets a piece of it. I'll tell you what, this score is not indicative of how well Kyler Bogan has played tonight.
Yeah, and they haven't really been garden variety saves. They've been some challenging saves that he's making in there too, because Oceanside's really picking and choosing their shots.
Big shot, Gavin Harrison. He took a peek behind him, Coach, but he stood tall. Big rebound out. Peanut Seaton comes up with it. AJ calling for the ball. Throws it a little behind him on the pass. AJ over to Carter. Carter took a look. MJ on the door, on the crease, and MJ Magic Zanone. AJ Carter, Magic, score.
Those are the ones you worry about, Drew, when you've been standing down there for a while and they come just bearing down on you like that.
Drew, you like them? What's your favorite shot, least favorite shot? Down in the dirt, up top? I mean, what's the easiest ball to save?
Fair one's the one to go right in your stick. Don't got to move.
So when they throw it at you,
they throw it right at me.
I once heard Jack Kelly tell me, look, goalies just aren't that good. If you get it on net, there's a decent chance it'll go in, right? Now, you may take exception to that, but and his point
I'm sure he's played some better goalies than me.
His point was, yeah, I mean, this guy's been in the Final Four, but his point was not to diminish goalies. His point was how hard it is for a goalie to cover the net. So at the high school level, he's saying, look, if you get it on net, you got a pretty good shot.
Definitely. Can't score if you don't hit the cage.
But if you throw it at the goalie's chest, which is where I was going with that comment, if you throw it at the goalie's chest, which is the one you just said you like to have, or in the stick, then you're not really giving yourself your best chance to score.
Yeah, we often say, Tony, sometimes you'll see some shots and you'll say, oh, we're making the goalie look good tonight. Bogan tonight has been that's been the opposite. He's looked good, making some amazing saves down there.
And yes, Chris, switching gears, look at AJ pressing out late in the game here, Coach. When was the last time we saw that where the defense is pressing up 13 goals? Or up 12 goals.
I got to say, Tony, I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know how AJ feels about it, but I love seeing him on this end of the field. He's a difference maker out there, and I'm not surprised to see him pressing out like that.
Well, look, he's the big winner tonight. He has his cake and eats it too. He's got a goal. He's played midi. He's playing D-mid. He's contributing in every way he can, and nothing, I can tell you on behalf of my son, nothing makes him happier than when he's contributing and you know what he really likes to do? Win. That's his thing.
Feels a hell of a lot better than losing, that's for sure.
There's nothing more helpless for AJ than when he's on the sideline and his team needs him and he's not there.
So I think we're going to be on a running clock here now, Tony, for the rest of the evening. 6:20 left in the fourth.
Yeah, that would be our South Carolina rule. So we're up 12 goals, and that won't be reversed. Even if they score, it'll remain a running clock. So the next 6 minutes is going to fly by pretty quick. And, Oceanside, one game removed from a I don't even remember what that score was against the Longhorns there. 14-2 they beat us up on last Friday night.
16, yeah.
I think it was 16-2. So
that's one that's easy to forget.
Yeah, we were on the wrong side of a score very similar to this, my point. And so one game removed. You got to love how these guys have pulled it together. The coaching staff, thank you to all of them for our boys. This looks like a completely different team and it's only been subtle changes in the lineup and the matchups. Now, again, Porter's missing their biggest gun, but I don't think even Matt Grubb is a 13 goal difference maker.
Right,
as much as I love him.
And that's true, Tony. We do love Mac, and we wish he was out here because obviously we want to be playing the best competition we can, and we're sorry he is not out here. But you're right, he's not going to make up that deficit.
Yeah, Robert and Jessica Grubb, just some of our favorite people, and he's grown up with our boys playing loggerheads, playing elite, and all the summer programs we've been in. And he's always been in Porter-Gaud. I'm pretty sure he's always – well, I think he went to Magnet for a year, if I recall correctly. But, he's always been, for the most part, been in Porter Maroon. And, I think he really would look forward to this. I did talk to Jessica at the half, and she said he's got that same hamstring that was hampering him this summer, Chris, is bothering him now.
It's a nagger. I feel like once you get that going, it is really hard to get rid of it without just significant rest time. And these boys don't really want to put much rest in for their senior years.
No, but he's shout out to him, and again we'll just continue to shower praise on Mac. He's headed to Haverford, big time lacrosse, up on the main line of Philly. Haverford, it's our Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yep.
Yeah, so he's up on the main line of Philly. Haverford, great program, storied, historic. Couldn't be happier for that young man and Jessica and Robert. So Jessica's sitting right behind me, chatting it up with Chris Coretta. It's like we're at a Loggerheads game.
And Tony, got to wonder if coaching staff maybe looks to start working some other guys in here, get them a little game experience as we're closing in on 3:40 left in the game.
Yeah, it looks like all gas, no break. That's the starting lineup out there for better or for worse.
Yeah, we're man down right now, so probably why we have that starting defense in there.
Who's in the box?
Jackson, I believe.
Jackson Heineman. Melissa and Mark would say, oh, no, not my boy.
Jackson's a fine young man. He wouldn't do anything wrong.
He would never do anything like that. And, okay, we're coming back.
That's Kim Kerr coming in from the midfield.
Yeah, Owen trucking upfield. Oh, there's a bobble there. Robo Reese puts a shoulder into 29. George Lowry. Andy Jones is on the move. Look at Andy go.
Got some when he screeching out there.
When he gets wheels turning, and I tell you, the excitement. This has been a whole different mood for the Land Sharks. The sideline is alive now. Again, we're up 12 goals, and there's a lot to cheer about. There's going to be a timeout, I guess.
And this might be the point where the staff wants to get some other guys in, and also keep in mind once we get under the 2-minute mark here, we're going to have to keep it in the box. So that's going to compress our offense a bit, force us to maybe do something more with the ball.
Drew, back to you. What's the big rivalry at USC? I mean,
always Clemson.
It's always
Clemson.
It's always Clemson, but so that Palmetto rivalry that we enjoy in our houses now.
Yep.
And we're gonna have a real problem with this throughout our life. I can feel
it'll never leave you.
I can feel it now. It's just not. Angie's here smirking to my left, but. From a lacrosse standpoint, I mean, Clemson's how's their program? I mean, again, AJ deferred to the history and the structure of the program at USC. Are they that tough?
I mean, in the past they haven't been as close, but these last couple of years, I mean, I can't lie, they did beat us last year, so we definitely have something to prove playing this rivalry game again. So we're on the losing side of it right now, but we're trying to get that back this year.
Okay, and beyond that in-state just nasty rivalry that exists here in the Palmetto State, who else?
Georgia Tech is another one of our bigger ones. They're a conference opponent, always pretty good, always make it to the tournament. So they're one that we have circled on our list. So beat Clemson, beat Georgia Tech, kind of two of our big goals this season.
All right. So and there again, a couple of ACC schools anyway. It's just great to see the lacrosse grow. All right, back to live action here.
Got a few new numbers out there, Tony.
Yep, I knew you were stalking them. Go ahead and call them out.
Let's see what we got here. Number 18 up top. It's going to be Grayson Weiss carrying the ball right now. Oh, taking one in the back. That's Finn Wagner. He's not too happy.
Drew Gregory checking out. We want to thank him for checking in with us. It's been a pleasure to have him.
Yeah.
Carter Gregory's still out there. So it looks like the attack, looks like we rolled midfielders, Coach.
Yeah, we got a free play right now. Now we're going to be 2 men up based on that flag.
1:38, and then the clock does not stop, so, you know.
Yeah, by the time we got Harrison running out of the goal.
And Jeb's going to take a poke at us, Jeb?
Actually, no, that's Blaze. Good to see Blaze getting some time in there.
Blaze, our man Blaze. Now, you want to see a goal net look really big? Look down there. He's a little guy, but
tell you what though, he's hopping up from last year, and before you know it, he may be 6'2". I mean, that's what these guys do in high school. It's 1 year to the next. They look like different people. It's unbelievable.
Well, and that brings me, gives me a good segue to our man Brody Hollingsworth. It really miss having Brody on the field. I know Jamie and Ryan, his parents, and they support this program. His brother Baker at Limestone. Shout out to Bakes. I don't know if you're listening tonight or not, but part of what Brody's issue is with his back and the injury that he's got is just how fast he grew.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't long ago Brody looked exactly like Blaze, and he didn't fit in his uniform in high school, and then all of a sudden, Brody's like 6. Oh, Finn rings one off the post.
Great take by Finn there, and I mean he somehow hit that post square. Good ground ball by Miller Seaton. Costa out there helping out the boys.
13 seconds.
Grayson Weiss back up top,
10,
looking for Finn again.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is your game. Go hug your goaltenders.
Kip Inman with a good rip there at the end.
In a landslide, 13-1 over the Porter-Gaud Cyclones. Thank you to everybody that came out. We got a good crowd out here. The Porter-Gaud faithful are here. The Oceanside Landshark faithful. And look at the mob scene. Look at the mob scene over on the with the Landshark players. Everybody's happy.
They really want to turn the lights out on us.
Yeah,
already.
now I'm not sure what they're doing with the lights there. They're kind of bobbing and weaving. It's this was a late start at 7:30, and I know the lights are on a timer, and I think they're cycling them so they won't go off on us.
That's what it is. Okay.
If I had to guess.
Well, maybe we should wrap.
So it's been a great night of lacrosse. Happy birthday, Angie. Appreciate you. We had a nice celebration before we came out here. I'm going to go get one of those little bundt cakes if they're still around. Chris, always a pleasure.
Happy to be here.
We are off until the weekend?
I believe so. Saturday, right?
I think we got a Saturday game again.
It's like the biggest break I've had lugging this stuff around.
Yeah,
so we'll take it.
So all Land Sharks tonight. Everybody's going to be all smiles for the week. Special shout out to our girls soccer team that was victorious again. Our 4-time defending state champion girls soccer team here at Oceanside. The girls lacrosse team will be back in action, I think, tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember when. They took a couple of lumps up in Carolina against Weddington and Providence Day. So those are their only 2 losses. So I think they're coming in 4 or 5-2, something like that. Coach Ashley's got them dialed back in, and they're looking to get back to their more regional, local schedule here. So big spring sports season. We're going to get wrapped up here. For the coach, Chris Harrison, I am Tony Zarzaka, and we will see you next broadcast. Thanks for listening.
Have a good night.